look like the Kickstarter.
Come on, that was interesting.
Hang on, I'm writing. About guy who lost his leg and was suing to get it back. He's gonna make it.
We had that guy on to talk about the documentary he was trying to make about the dude who found a leg in the barbecue smoker, remember?
I'm sorry, are we talking about something?
I was just giving you an update that the Kickstarter is not going to fund, so I'm very disappointed. The movie's probably not going to get made. All right, you're listening to the Kevin and Bean Show here on a Friday. Hey, don't forget, 1 hour from right now, you can get on the standby boarding list for K-Rock's Festival Flyaway Destination number 4. It is Rock in Rio in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Great lineup this year again with The Offspring and 30 Seconds to Mars, Metallica, Muse, so much more. 9:10 this morning, your chance to get on the standby boarding list. How awesome would it be if you won a trip to Brazil for listening to this stupid show? That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be great.
And, of course, plenty of other chances to qualify throughout the day. Go to KROC.com for details. A couple of days ago, we were talking about a television show. I think it was on MTV. True Life. Yes, True Life. A girl was complaining that she's too hot. Remember, she's too beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about how difficult her life is.
My life has been so difficult because I'm just too hot.
People they don't treat me with the respect I deserve because I'm so hot, and you don't know how difficult it is dating when you're beautiful, and just on and on and on. But the one thing that I took away is how much I wanted to murder this woman in her sleep because of her voice.
I never go out on blind dates, but my friend has been raving about this guy, so I thought I'll give it a try.
What is it about that voice that bugs me so much?
I don't know for sure.
Well, it's kind of monotone.
Right.
That's
yeah.
part of it.
Some people are just cursed with bad voices. Like I don't know if that's partially her attitude as well that comes through, dripping through on her voice, but it does.
That may be some of it for sure.
Like, if you have a less than ideal voice like this girl, is there something she could do to make it more palatable?
I don't know.
She could probably pitch it up just a touch.
How? I mean, can you
do that?
What? How?
Because I can talk like this.
Oh, I see what you mean.
This. Yeah, just
do it on purpose.
A little bit, yeah. If someone told her, your voice is so annoying, do something.
Well, we started talking off the air after we played that piece of tape for you. We thought, what would it be like to be somebody who, through no fault of your own, you just have an annoying voice. You just have a voice that people do not enjoy hearing. They make fun of you all the time. They're critical of your voice. They don't like it when they have to hear you. What must that be like? And we thought it might be interesting to talk to people who have those kinds of voices. There's a girl that works at the Best Buy that I see every Tuesday, and her voice is so high that I just can't even believe it's real. Thank you for coming to Best Buy. Do you need to receive it? It's just like, I feel like she's talking to dogs and I just think, what must it be like for that girl to go through life with that voice?
People are like, can I speak to your mother when she answers the phone?
There was a dude that had that voice at a store I was shopping at.
Really?
Yeah, you think it's a girl, and you turn around and you go, holy crap, that's a guy.
Oh, that sucks.
That would suck.
We want to hear from you. If you have been told you have an annoying voice, we want to hear from you. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if anyone's going to be willing to pick up the phone and hang that on themselves.
It's not necessarily your fault. It's just people tell you that all the time. Maybe you don't even hear it, but people just tell you all the time.
That's the voice you were born with. You can give us a call at 1-800-520-1067. 1-800-520-1067 is our toll-free number. I do know that there are some famous people who have voices. It hasn't stopped them from being successful in their careers, but they have voices that just turn some people off.
Oh, remember Fran Drescher? She's the one, to me, that just...
Yes.
Fingernails on a chalkboard. This is her. This is Fran Drescher.
Yes, well, I was tough going. I wasn't able to knock off that kind of weight in years.
Yeah, yes.
And I just decided that I wasn't feeling well through all of season 2.
Now, some of that is her voice. Some of that is that god-awful New Jersey accent.
Yeah, that's true. But
that hurts her.
She could change that. Yeah.
Right?
I don't know if she could change her voice, but she could change the accent.
It would help.
Let's see. We have Gilbert Gottfried, who I find funny as hell, but...
Joan Rivers is the bartender. He sees a sign over the bar that reads, cheese sandwich, $1.50.
Now, I will say this about Gilbert, because we've been lucky enough to have him as a guest on the show many times over the years. He is exhausting. That voice sometimes at 7 o'clock in the morning is not an easy sell.
Or is it 35 minutes into a comedy set, where you go, wow, this is still going.
And Gilbert also, part of his problem is that he is a super over projector. He does not mellow out at all. He's never he doesn't turn off the mic and go, yeah, Kevin, I mean, how you guys doing? What's going on, man?
That's
He's
true.
just
Non-stop, he talks like that.
Maybe
on and off the air.
Slightly deaf.
You think he just can't hear? So he just projects way too loud?
I'll tell you, someone frequently on our show is Adam Carolla, and I always think, how does his wife put up with that voice all the time?
Adam Carolla.
Say, no, it's not the driver, it's the car. The car's broken. Well, you're the crew chief. Yeah, the car's broken. We'll fix the car.
I couldn't take it.
Well, I don't know if that's just a combination of his voice and his yelling.
Yes, that's
Which
how he speaks.
I think he would probably spend a lot, but we know him personally,
Yes.
and he's not like that off the mic. Well, he is sort of like that.
I've heard him personally.
He's sort of like that.
All right, we'll get back to some other celebrity voices that people have trouble with in a moment. But first, let's take a couple of your calls at 1-800-520-1067. You have been told that your voice is annoying. Let's start with Natalie. She is on line 1, and we'll find out. Hi, Natalie. Thanks a lot for calling in. What's going on?
Hi. I think I have an annoying voice still.
How old are you?
I am.
If you're over 12, you have an annoying voice.
I'm turning 24.
24.
Yeah, you do sound like a little kid.
Yeah.
Does it make it difficult to call and order food, or
It's always difficult, especially when I'm at a bar.
try and talk low?
It's always difficult when I'm at a bar.
Better. It's a little better.
I can almost see your Adam's apple when you talk like that. Do you find it do you find it difficult for people to take you seriously?
All the time.
Yeah.
Time.
Well, they're right.
You know, there
I'm
are
sorry.
some girls, and Natalie, you might be one of them, who are actually really smart, but nobody will ever believe it because, for whatever reason, the way they talk makes people think they're dumb.
Yep.
Poor
All right.
Natalie.
Poor
Poor Natalie
Natalie.
knows
I feel bad for
exactly
you.
what you're talking about.
All right, can we take Barry real quick? Or do we have to go? Okay, let's take Barry just real fast. Barry, welcome to the Kevin and Bean Show. You've been told you have an annoying voice. How come?
Because I talk really loud.
Yeah, but can't you control how loud you talk?
I really can't. I mean, I'll be sitting in the living room with my wife, and we'll be talking, and she'll just be like, "Stop yelling at me." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not. I'm just talking." It's so bad that I lost my corner office at my office because the owner of the company didn't want to sit near me, so now I have an office on the other side of the building.
Now you're in the warehouse downtown by yourself.
But why can't you learn to talk softer?
I mean, I can.
It's just
If somebody says something to me, I can slow down and think about it. But then, I'm on the phone a lot, I'm talking to people a lot, and I just get going, and I don't know, it escalates from there.
Yeah, your owner made the right decision.
That's tough. Thank you very much, Barry.
Thank you for the call.
Although, if we ever need anyone to play Brad Garrett in the Brad Garrett story, maybe Barry's our man. All right, 1-800-520-1067. You've been told your voice is annoying. We want to talk to you. Coming up next on the Kevin and Bean Show on K-Rock.
What's Bonaducci like voice? And all the teachers hate him and they throw him out of class all the time.
Yeah, that's one right there.
That's a tough voice to listen to, man.
I don't know how anyone does it.
We are talking about annoying voices on the Kevin and Bean Show. Sometimes it's not your fault, and sometimes, as we pointed out, there is something you can do about it, and you can certainly get rid of your bad accent if you've got a bad accent. We're taking your calls at 1-800-520-1067. Who else is in the Celebrity Wheel of Bad Annoying Voices, Kevin?
Well, we've got a bunch of them. Some I don't agree with, like
That's why Mel Gibson mad, that white lady.
Tracy Morgan.
That's white boy mad. You heard the tapes. White people was offended when they heard bitch on the tapes. I was like, that ain't nothing but hip-hop.
That's not an annoying voice.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
I find it funny, too, but then how about Jay Leno?
They're warning this could be a long, hot summer. They're telling everyone to cover up.
Yeah, he's sort of annoying to me.
Let's try Johnny.
I hate how he goes.
Let's try Johnny on line 3 here. Let's find out from our listeners that are told their voices are annoying why that is. Johnny, welcome to the Kevin and Bean Show. What's going on, man?
Hey, how are you guys?
We're good.
That's not really your voice.
Are you just being funny, or that's your voice?
No, it's my voice. And it cracks a lot.
All right, I feel like you're clowning.
I do, too. Thank you for the call.
Thank you for that.
If that is your voice, kill yourself. Okay.
Let's try Bill. Bill's on line 7. He's apparently got problems, too.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
We're good.
Fantastic. I've been told that my voice is a little nasally, a little too monotone. been
It
told
is
I
both
did.
of those things. You have not been lied to.
You do sound a little sick. You're not?
Well, I was out drinking last night, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about that? Is it unfair comment when people say your voice is nasally or monotone, or do you understand where they're coming from and why they say that?
Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I've done telemarketing in the past and actually done really well in the Midwest and in the South, so it works for me.
I couldn't hang up on you fast enough if you called my house. There's no way. The speed hasn't been calculated with how fast that receiver would hit the phone. I'm serious. All right, let's try Audrey. She is on line 2. Audrey is told she has an annoying voice. Is that true?
Yeah, unfortunately it is.
What do your friends tell you?
Well, see, what happens is that when I'm talking normal, it's tolerable, but when I get really loud or like upset or mad, it sounds like a bunch of cats fighting.
Yeah.
I get really squishy and shrill and stuff, and it's really bad. I'm unconscious of when it happens, so it's not like I can control it or anything.
Right, of
You're
course.
sure you're not unconscious of when it happens?
Unconscientious. I don't know if I'm making words up or
You are, but you are.
That just adds to your charm, Audrey.
You are, but nobody appreciates that more than me. Thank you, Audrey. RJ writes in, Dear Kevin and Bean, worst voice ever? Beer mug, obviously, fire him. Also got a
let's
tweet
go to-
from Ricardo, said Jennifer Tilly's voice is irritating the hell out of me, but I'd put up with it because she's beautiful.
Right. She's got that baby voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have everything else working against you if you also have the bad voice, right? You got to have something to
Right, exactly.
something to counter it. All right, thanks for the call. Sorry about that, peeps. Thanks for tuning in here on a Friday morning. Our old friend Stephen Hawking is back in the news. Of course, he is the famous brief history of time scientist, one of the smartest people in the world. They're making a movie about him, you guys.
Well, I think that'd be fascinating.
He has had an
Not a
interesting
lot of action.
He's a guy who has the Lou Gehrig's disease, and most people with that disease are dead by, like 30 or 40, something like that, and he's into his 60s now. But they're talking about that actor from Les Mis, Eddie, I want to say his name is Redmayne?
Don't know.
He apparently is in talks to play Stephen Hawking in a movie. That's thing one. Thing two is there is a girl in Britain who is 13 who has just taken an IQ test and has shown to be smarter than Stephen Hawking at 13.
Wow.
She has an IQ of 162. I guess 140 or above is considered genius.
Right.
Average
100 is normal, right? That's a regular person is 100.
I'm 70. So everybody falls somewhere on that spectrum.
162 apparently that's the highest you can have, apparently, at under 18. I don't understand all the technicalities of IQ tests, but apparently that's like scoring 100% on a test. She's 162 at 13 years old.
Let's see if we can understand her. She does have a British accent, but she talks about how chemistry is her favorite subject, and 162 IQ.
No, I don't really think I'm clever. I think I'm just, just have an IQ, but that doesn't really mean that I'm clever. I've realized I go into medicine. Favorite subject is chemistry because it's really interesting, and I love finding out new things, like how if you just mix two elements together you get something completely different. And maths also because it's logical and practical, and I quite like stuff like that.
13.
Yeah, she's clever.
13. No, she doesn't consider herself
I know,
clever.
but I'll tell you she's clever.
I think what she means when she says, at least, I think because she's British, I think what she's saying is I have a high IQ, but that doesn't mean I'm smart.
No, I do understand.
I think that's what she's saying. Now, Kevin, you don't think it's a good thing to have an IQ that high, you were saying?
I'm afraid that a 13-year-old who, and let's face it, when you're 13, when you're in your teen years, it's all about social skills.
Yes.
It seems like if you're too smart at that point, it would be bad. Maybe later in your life when you're 28 and you're, a brain surgeon or a scientist, your life would be fantastic. But when you're 13 and then 14 and 15...
It would be so hard with those kinds of brain powers.
I would think so. Nice.
To relate to
well
people
said.
your age. They don't care. They want to talk about clothes and boys.
Well, I will tell you, I do feel a little bit bad for Stephen Hawking. I don't know technically what his IQ is, but he's the gold standard of smart people. Like when somebody is talking about somebody who's super smart, they compare them to Stephen Hawking. He's the smartest guy in the world as far as I know, right?
Was until this
so
girl.
What must it be like for him now to know that Miha Ramu is who we're going to be talking about as the smartest guy in the world? We got Dr. Hawking back on the phone here on the Kevin and Bean Show to comment. Hi, Stephen. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Kevin and Bean.
It's good to talk to you. I don't know if you were listening, but we were talking about this 13-year-old girl in Britain who has an IQ of 162.
Yes, so I understand.
And the headline says 13-year-old's IQ higher than Stephen Hawking.
That's it?
That's the headline. You're in the headline. You losing the battle of the intellect is in the headline.
Neha Ramu?
Yes, that's her name, yes.
Nice name.
What does that have to do with it? That just happens to be her name.
Neha Ramu.
Right.
Is she from the planet Krypton?
Nope, she's British.
She's British.
Sure she is.
Look, I would think that you're a guy who has written books and lectured on the importance of education and science. I would think that you would be happy that somebody like this is really kind of following in your footsteps.
I am happy that she is interested in science and chemistry and math.
Right.
But I am not happy that her IQ is supposedly higher than mine.
And she's 13.
She should call me in 5 years when she's useful.
Oh, okay.
God.
Dr. Hawking,
That's
come on.
inappropriate.
You're
That's
terrible.
completely inappropriate.
She'll be 18 in 5 years.
Right, we get
got
it.
it.
We understood that.
We get it.
And
But
maybe someone will care about her.
Okay, but isn't the
Neha Ramu.
isn't the point? Shouldn't she be
Is
celebrated
she
though?
on some sort of list where she cannot fly?
No.
No, what's wrong with
something
you?
like that?
Neha Ramu.
That's her name. There's nothing wrong with that name. There's nothing wrong with her background. The point
I hope
is
she doesn't use her chemistry background to build pipe bombs.
What is wrong with you?
I don't even understand where you're coming from.
Neha Ramu.
Right, we get it. We know her name. She's just British.
Seriously, though, what kind of name is that?
Well, I think she comes from maybe an Indian background or something like that. It's just
Well,
a traditional name.
that makes more sense then.
Okay, so you're good?
Nope.